Hi everyone, this is Steve Evans. Welcome to my presentation on professional creative thinking. I made a presentation called the Professional Creative Thinking Game Plan, and it has to do with how I might change my mindset, my behavior, and my space at work, and just some general ideas taken from the reading and the videos this week. I decided to do all three items rather than one because I feel like they all tie together very well. So on to behavior. With my behavior, I would try to be more highly creative, as one needs to have professional behaviors which contribute to creative thinking. So whenever you're trying to accomplish something new or try to develop new ideas, you have to think creatively and you have to think outside the box. There is no way to fail in this. You could just keep producing items until one sticks. So that lends to a number of different strategies. So in a strategy to improve you with creative thinking, you always want to be researching. So you always want to be researching new ideas and new ways to accomplish something. I think it was Adam Grant who said it was not best to be the first person to have an idea. It was always easier to improve on someone else's idea. So you could research that idea and iron it out to make it better and make it your own. You want to be more prolific, so keep producing items, keep churning out output, and eventually something is going to stick to the wall. I've had 20, 30 ideas on how to do something at work, and one of them was the best of them all. So it's just, you got to just keep turning up ideas and thinking about them and fine-tuning what you're aiming to accomplish. I think it's also important to develop a routine. So develop a routine on how you go about thinking creatively. How do you start that? What are your main points or your main objectives in every project? And also give yourself permission to fail. It's okay if an idea is terrible. It's okay if you're not, you weren't thinking in the right frame of mind for that project. It's all right. I mean, you're going to fail 9 times out of 10, but that one time you succeed, that's going to carry you forward. Space. I feel like a creative space is really important. A number of years ago, I decided to get a stand-up desk at work, and it really kind of exploded my creativity. I felt like I wasn't sitting around all day. I was now standing. I was able to move, and I don't know, it just helped me be more on point with ideas, and I wasn't as tired, so that helped. So rethinking your real estate with technology. You want to enable workspaces that are designed to support stages of the creative process, because there are so many modes of work, physical settings that foster deep focus, co-creation, ideation, experimentation, and respite can significantly contribute to overall productivity and innovation. I got this from a project that was with Microsoft and a company called Steelcase, where they try to develop creative spaces for companies. So they kind of sell furniture to condone these creative spaces and foster creative thinking. So give you some examples. They go into, one size does not fit all. Like, one company has a creative space, that's not going to always mean it's going to be the right type of space for what needs to go on. So they develop multiple spaces that suit these needs. They try to bridge the place and the technology gap. So whereas you have technology, maybe the space doesn't fit that, and it doesn't support teamwork or doesn't support collaboration. You can't all huddle up on a laptop. You need to have a big touch screen and maybe some type of smart type classroom where it's casting your technology to the board so that everybody can write on it interactively. So you want to be able to also support creativity and collaboration in this space. One of the spaces that was talked about was it's called a dual studio. And you see here, you have the fellow on the left. He looks like he has a giant tablet in front of him, probably like a Surface, and he's able to project it onto the wall so the other two members of the group are able to interact with him and be creative. There's also, they each have their own spaces, so that if they need to take some time away from each other and think about the ideas, they could do that. Some bulletin boards to pin stuff upon, and they're also secluded from the outside environment, so they have privacy and ability to work together. And on to mindset. In the mindset, I think it was Adam Savage who said, we are all explorers. So, be an explorer. Really go into the deep corners and try and figure out ideas. No idea is dumb. Every idea is good. Every idea is allowed to fail. Eventually, you're gonna find that new idea. Also, Adam Grant, he said in regards to procrastination that it gives you time to consider divergent ideas. Divergent thinking is one of those where you produce many alternative theories and ideas to produce a useful solution. So, procrastinate. It's okay to not get it done right away. Maybe if you procrastinate, your first idea or your second idea that you thought of might not have been the one you went with. You were able to think more creatively over the course of time. And as I just mentioned, think divergently. Allowing you to come up with alternative ideas is going to differentiate from those that have already been created and or build upon those that are already out there. So that's going to, one, make you be original in a way where you're piggybacking off somebody else's things too, which is going to make an improvement as to what might already work. And also, doubt the default. Adam Grant said that in his video. The default isn't always the answer. Default conforms to society, but sometimes we need to think outside the box. All the latest and greatest ideas that have come about in the past 20 years were, things that seemed obvious, but weren't so obvious to society that we needed them. We had taxi cabs, but now look at ride sharing. Look at Uber and Lyft. Obviously that's such an easy thing. You go on your phone and you request a car. But we doubted what the default was. We didn't consider the obvious, and it was right there in front of us. So, that's all about thinking creatively, thinking about what people need, thinking about what's useful, thinking about what our technology supports. Hope you all like this presentation. It's just a few ideas and how to improve my professional mindset, behavior, and my space in my professional setting. Thanks.